Hello, this is Terry and welcome to my next build video, and this is going to be, I think, build video number 20 in my mini teardrop camper build series. And I'm going to be doing two things today while I am waiting for some edge materials that I had ordered. And that edge material is the trim for the camper itself, and also some galley hardware that I'll be building here hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But in this video, I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to add some steel to my tongue to reinforce the strength of the tongue. I'm going to mount my tongue box, and I'm going to put my power electronics in my tongue box, and that will include a 12-volt battery and also a solar charge controller, and also an inverter, so I can convert my DC power to AC power if I need it. So let's go ahead and get started today. Okay, I've got my steel reinforcement for my tongue welded. I've got a piece here, a piece here, and this longer piece right here. My box will actually fit up against that. Okay, what I think I'll do before I actually put the box on is just go ahead and clean this up really good and spray paint this black. Okay, I've got this painted black again, so now I'm ready to go ahead and put the tongue box on. Okay, I got my tongue box installed and secured, and got some lock nuts under the bottom of this here, little bolts there, really secure. So the next step is start to adding my electrical devices to power my camper. So let's go ahead and get those installed. Okay, before I start putting these devices in my tongue box, my electrical devices, that is, I just want to go over real fast what I've got here. I've got a lithium phosphate battery. It's 12 volts, 100 amp hours. I've got a AC to DC charger. This will charge the lithium battery from an AC source. I can also charge the battery from a solar panel. I have this solar panel here at home. I had ordered it for another project that kind of fell through, so I've got this. It's a 100-watt solar panel. I've got a solar charge controller here that can be run from a Bluetooth, or actually put an app on my phone, and I can actually see everything on a Bluetooth app. And I've got an inverter, my DC to AC inverter that will go in, and of course my miscellaneous cables here. So what I'll be doing is just kind of setting these things in a box, seeing where they fit at, and I'm going to use some plywood to mount everything on and then run my wires. So let's go ahead and see where everything's going to go and get started on this. Okay, I've got my major power components in my tongue box now. I've got my DC 12 volt battery in. I've got my solar charge controller in. This is just a breaker for my power that's coming in from my solar panel. This is just a Bluetooth transmitter, just to give me information about the charge controller on the phone. And I've also got a power inverter that's going to change my DC to AC, and I can also supply that into the trailer itself. So the next step is to go ahead and start doing my wiring and wire everything up. So let's go ahead and start wiring. Okay, I've got my power devices connected and installed in my tongue box. I've got my DC input, AC input, DC output, AC output here. And of course the inputs will come from my solar panel or my shore power. And my outputs will go from the tongue box to the camper itself here. So I'm going to do some basic testing. The first testing I'm going to do after I've connected my battery together is just to input the DC power from my battery to check to see if everything's working fine just for my primary input. I've got that connected. Let's go into and see if I got power. Put this on primary, and I did. I've got 13.3 volts. Got some lights on, very good. Still 13.2 volts. Get some more lights here. Make sure things are working, very good. So my primary power works. Still 13.2 volts, so let's do some more testing. I'll go ahead and test my charge controller. I've got it connected to the battery. Power on. And blue is for my LiPo phosphate battery. And it should blink and then turn blue. and it is. So that looks good. You can see right here too, I do have a connection being transmitted from my Bluetooth, so I'll connect that to the phone in a little bit. Okay, my next test is to make sure that I'm getting power from the battery through my AC inverter, and I can supply AC power to the camper, and I'll be testing that by turning everything on and also checking that the light will work through my AC receptacle. I guess I left the light on so my AC receptacles work, which is very good. So I'm powering my AC receptacles through my primary battery via the AC output, extension cord, AC input. Of course, this AC input can not only come from my inverter, I can also power this through shore power and also through my generator. Let's go ahead and continue testing. Let's test the solar panel connection. Okay, I have got my solar panel connected to my DC input. I flipped on my breaker, so the blue light means this is a lithium phosphate battery. The battery light's solid, which means it's charging, and a PV light means that it's also charged normally, so that is a good thing. So this works so far. I've only got one more test to do, and what I'm going to do is test my my battery charger, just in case I've got no sun out, but I do have shore power. So let's test that next. Just one more test before I disconnect my solar panel. While this is charging, I've also got my DC input going into my camper. I flipped on my primary DC power source, and I was at 13.3 volts earlier. Now I'm at 13.4, so that means that I am charging, which is a good thing. So again, my lights work. Let's just check the fan too. Everything else seems to be working fine. All right, now let's test the battery charger. Before I show you the AC battery charger, I just wanted to show you the power controller app for my solar control panel, and it does show the voltage and current being drawn from the solar panel, so that looks good. Here I'm going to plug in my extension cord from a receptacle in the garage. One thing about this battery charger that I don't like is that it's got short, very short leads on it, and I can't reach from the negative to positive, so what I had to do was kind of improvise just for this test. I had some spare clips here that would reach. So I've got this positive connected to this clip and there to there. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and plug it in and see if it works. And if you take a look, I've got the red, which says it is charging. I'll only use this when I don't have solar power, but I do have shore power to charge my battery when the battery needs to be charged. So solid red light means it's charging, which is a good thing. Okay, that's going to do it for this build video. I've got my tongue box done with my power system in it. Got it checked out. It works great. In the next build, I'm actually going to start on my galley hatch. So that should be fun. So hopefully I can get started on that in the next couple of days. Thanks for watching. Please continue to watch, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next video.